Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this video. Okay, today's video I wanted to make about, I don't know what to call it, law of attraction, instant manifestation, simulated reality even. And I don't mean the law of, the law of attraction is what it is. There aren't like different types of laws of attraction, but I feel like when people hear the term or the phrase law of attraction, they instantly think, like higher consciousness, or, it has a very spiritual connotation to it. It is. It's a spiritual practice. It's a spiritual principle that you implement. But I feel like you could also take it very literally. You could take it very literally in the sense that if you are in the moment in whatever you're doing and you, let's say, think about something or someone or a word or an event, or you're having a conversation with somebody and you talk about something specific, and then you'll hear whatever it is you're thinking about or talking about on the radio, or you'll see it on TV, or you'll hear somebody else say it right next to you in the grocery store. I have heard synchronicities. There we go. That's another word for it. That's the main word I was looking for, not just law of attraction. Synchronicities. I feel like the principle of I feel like the law of attraction itself, as well as the occurrence of synchronicities and manifestations, I feel like that implies that we are living in a simulated reality. However you want to interpret that, whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like. There's no one absolute truth. Not from a human perspective anyways. We'll never be able to pinpoint the one absolute truth as long as we're living in flesh form on this planet. But this is my absolute truth. This is my truth. This is my reality. And the truth is that for my years on this planet, again, I don't want to disclose my age. I said that in the last video. But for as long as I've been alive, boy, I have seriously experienced some synchronicities. I don't even think people would believe the kinds of synchronicities I've experienced. I literally don't think they'd believe them. And of course, they happen when I'm alone. They always happen when I'm alone. A lot of the times they've happened when I'm under the influence of marijuana or alcohol. So, how credible can that be? I get it. And that's why I feel like, I don't know, I feel like talking about it in case other people have experienced that, right? That's the point of this channel. That's what I said the point of this channel was. But anyways, the point of this video is to have paranormal story time. Paranormal story time. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Okay, so the earliest memory I have of like instant manifestation, because there have been a lot of instances where that has occurred. I would say 4. I was about 4 years old, and this was at a time before smartphones existed, when mothers still read magazines at home in bed while letting their nails dry, as was the case in this story. So I'm sitting on the floor at the foot of my mother's bed. It's just me and her in the house. I was 4 years old. She's sitting behind me on the bed, reading a God knows what magazine at the time. She's letting her nails dry. She doesn't even have a flip phone, so she's doing her thing. I'm on the floor with a coloring book, and it's like a bug, insect themed coloring book. And I was very lazy and not very creative at the time. And I skipped over all the butterflies, all the ladybugs, the dragonflies. I skipped over all of them, and I was like, I'm doing the centipede, because it's just one long body, it's just one color, it's just brown. So I was like, cool, right? I could get the quickest gratification out of completing a centipede. So I'm coloring my centipede, sitting on the floor. Oh, and the bed, it had it was risen, so you could it had like that underneath the bed part of it. It wasn't like a boxed spring or spring box, whatever it's called, box springs. It didn't have one of those. So it had the 4 legs and it was risen. And I'm sitting at the foot of the bed with my mom behind me on the bed. I'm coloring and I finish my centipede drawing, or I'm sorry, my centipede coloring page. And I hold it up to my mom. I'm like, Mom, check it out. I finished it. I didn't say check it out. I'm like 4. I'm like, look, Mom, I did it. I finished my centipede. And I don't even think she looked up from her magazine. But, you know, she still indulged me. She was like, wow, I'm proud of you. Like, good job, Ma. And I'm like, yeah, right. I'm all pleased with myself. So I bring it back down and I'm flipping. I'm like, all right, which one am I going to do next? And a literal centipede crawls out from underneath the bed and stations itself next to me, next to my crayons, next to my notebook. A literal centipede. And I'm like looking at my coloring book and at the centipede, and I'm like, and I say it again, and my mom was like, whoa. I was like, Mom, a centipede. And she's just like, yeah, you showed me. I'm really proud of you. What are you going to color next? And I'm like, at the time I couldn't articulate what I was trying to say, but I experienced that completely on my own. And I don't think I've ever actually told anybody about it. And again, it was just one of those things where nobody was with me. I mean, again, my mom was with me, but she didn't experience it with me. So, and I was 4. So, I mean, like, you're going to, by the time at 4 years old that you successfully articulate that story, that occurrence to an adult, they've already checked out mentally because you're just babbling and babbling and babbling, kind of like I am now. So you can imagine at 4 years old, that wouldn't have been very graceful. So that was one instance that happened. Shoot, another time. It's happened so many times that I already stopped keeping like a mental checklist because I'm like, okay, it's just a thing that happens. I stopped being amazed by it at some point. I stopped like, oh, it happened again. Like in my journal, it happened again, or this happened. Like I was like, okay, yeah, happened again. Okay, yeah, cool. That's that. Oh yeah, another instance. You know, I kind of like, I was beginning to grow numb to the experiences of synchronicities. But god dang, that was the very, very, very first one I can remember. Another one, I wouldn't exactly say is a synchronicity. I would define a synchronicity as being, you know, your thoughts or your words directly coinciding, synchronizing with a physical occurrence out in the world. And this next story, I would not consider it a synchronicity just because it wasn't physical. It had to do with the television. And this time I was not alone. I was with 2 family members. And I think it was about the same time as the centipede incident. I was about 4. And we were all a year apart. So it was 4, 5, and 6. It was the 3 of us. We were sitting in my grandmother's living room. And we were on Disney Channel. Give me a second to adjust this. God dang it. Okay. All right. Much better. So, we are 4, 5, and 6 years old, the 3 of us. We're sitting in my grandmother's living room, and the 2 older ones were sitting on the couches, and I was sitting on the floor, like, with my feet propped up onto the TV stand. I'm just, like, chilling, leaning back, looking directly up at the TV. And, again, we were on Disney Channel, or Disney Junior, whatever, and whatever show we were watching had just finished, and a Disney original commercial came on. It was live action. It was just a bunch of, like, kindergartner-aged children, and they were just, like, jumping around in slow motion, like, on a trampoline or something. They're, like, jumping from clouds to clouds or something, right? They're just, like, free-falling. And then it shows them jumbled back up in a group, and there's, like, an adult male, like, the host of the commercial, I guess. He's like, now it's time for a Disney original movie. And then, like, on cue, all the kids are like, yeah, right? They're all clapping, they're all ecstatic, because the Disney movie's coming on. And then he's like, up next, Dumbo! And they're, like, clapping. And then it transitions, the commercial ends, and it transitions into those 3 seconds of just blackness and silence before the next commercial. I'm assuming the movie was about to start, because it was a Disney original, and they just announced Dumbo. Screen turns black. Completely blank. completely silent. And I remember at that point in my life, I was obsessed with Disney movies, and Dumbo happened to be the one movie I just did not like. It bored me. It bored me a lot, and I never really like came around to it or found any interest in it. And so in those few seconds of blackness transitioning into the movie, I verbalize. I say, "Darn, like Dumbo's boring." And then a child that had been in the group of kindergartners in that commercial, just one child, she pops back up from the blackness, and it's still black behind her, and she just looks down at me and she says, "No, it's not." And then she disappears. It goes back to black. And then me and my family members were like, "What?" We were screaming. We were like, "Wow!" It was crazy. And again, there was no adults with us, but we did all experience that together. And that is something beyond my human comprehension that I fear I will lose my sanity if I try figuring out. Because I feel as though that either implies that this is all, I don't know if it's virtual reality, it could be simulated virtual reality, it could be just a simulated reality like the Truman Show, or it implies the presence of like extraterrestrials or non-terrestrials that are either able to manipulate television and electronics for that to have happened, or they manipulated us three humans to have a collective hallucination of that child appearing back up on the television. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying to flex that mental muscle and figure it out. And I haven't yet after all these years, and I'm not so sure I want to, because trying to figure it out has led me to some not safe places. And again, I just want to talk about it in case anybody else has experienced anything like that, or is experiencing anything like that, or is just interested in the subject. So call it law of attraction, call it synchronicities, call it virtual reality, simulated reality, the Truman Show, mass hallucination. I don't know. But that is my paranormal story time for today. I'm going to try to upload weekly videos. I'm getting very overwhelmed and having a panic attack, so I'm going to log off now. If you or anybody you know has ever experienced anything like this or has any stories of your own, comment down below, let me know, because I'd love to hear about it. The more the merrier, am I right? Let's not lose our sanity. Alrighty, folks. Like, comment, subscribe, ask me anything you'd like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.